Oh, look at that. We're live. Hey, what is up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to At the Close. I honestly can't remember a day quite like this. We'll talk about this. I'm extremely impressed. Joel, I think you are as well with this market today. We'll go under the hood. We'll look at the top 10, and we'll talk about the overall market because it's a bloodbath today and a lot of mega cap tech stocks, and yet the market is up. So you know what to do by now. Smash that like button, please, and thank you. And let's start the show. All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
All right, Joel, you are back in the studio, in the basement studio. You've got your charts up on the screen here. I don't know why you got Marriott up there, but let's bring up the S&P 500 futures and tell us what you see.
I see what you see, and this is wow, what an incredible day. If you look at 5 of the top 10 tech components deep in the red off Netflix, you have the S&Ps up a couple points here. It's been a choppy session, hasn't been straight up. We made that early morning high at 84 and a quarter. Had our sights set on last week's high at 91 and a quarter, and no, we came down, a couple attempts to break the market, but right now, well, I'll tell you, to finish green on a day like that, you have to be impressed with the buoyancy of the index.
Yeah.
Crude, usually choppy, volatile day, but it's up 76 cents and 102.81. Gold, getting further away from 2K. That was nice. Down a buck 50 at 1957.50. Silver moving in on 25 after being over 26 2 days ago, down 11 cents at 25.28. Bitcoin just slightly in the red. That's in the red by 320 bucks at 41 to 195. And Ethereum futures, they're down $48.50 at 33,067.
So Joel, I don't remember a day where if you look at the top 10 largest stocks in the US stock market, the top 10 largest components in the S&P 500, those are the same thing. And you go look at see what is up and what is down. Out of that top 10, 8 of them are down. One of them is up, that's Microsoft, and one of them is, we'll just call it flat. That's Berkshire.
Here, we'll illustrate it for people at
Yeah.
home because
Yeah.
you guys know what I look at here.
Yeah.
There's is the other screen that you don't see that much, right? Look at this. Here are your top 10 components. I combined the two Googs, make it the third
Yeah.
largest company. But there you go. That's
Yeah.
down 1.8. Amazon 2.5. Tesla, people nervous ahead of that report, down 4.7. Nvidia, who needs chips anymore, that's down 3.4%, 214.33. And Facebook, who got sandbagged by Cleveland Research, that's down 8%.
Yeah.
So there you go. It just doesn't make any sense in the market, but you know what? You got to trade what's in front of you.
You're right.
As
So I'm sorry. 7 of the top 10 are in the red, and not just like a little bit red, like a lot of red, like you said, like Apple is like a little bit red, right? But like if you throw that out, you get, like you said, Tesla down 4%, Facebook down almost 8%, right? These are big drops, big days. Big down days for big stocks, and yet the overall index is basically flat, which speaks to the strength from literally everybody else, right? Everybody out of the top 10. You can go around and look, and thank you industrials, thank you real estate, thank you consumer staples, right? There's far more green than there is red today, and that can overpower the handful of stocks at the top. Which is what we're seeing today.
well,
Right?
well, first of all, the day's not over, right? And
It's
we've the
true.
price action we've seen in
Yeah.
the closing minutes. So we have leaked a little bit. We're red. I mean, I think
Yeah.
anything anything near unchanged would be a incredible day for the
Major
market.
moral victory, right? Major moral
I
victory.
would, I would.
Yeah.
So what's
I
going on?
mean,
Tesla, man. Oh, I'm sorry, Mitch. Go ahead.
well, I want to just point out the market breadth. We always point out the market breadth when it goes up. Does a few
Yeah.
stocks lead the rally? It looks like a few stocks didn't lead the downside today. And so that's actually a good thing that you're, like you mentioned, Spencer, showing you relative strength overall in the market, not just in that the big leading names are taking us up and down. I think that's one thing that I try to pay attention to. Is it the big names that are leading us up, bringing us down? And right now, it looks like the big names didn't bring us down. So there
No.
is some strength out there.
Yeah. So Joel, you mentioned Tesla. So you think people might be nervous into this report into Tesla? Look at what it did right off the open. They report right after the close here. We'll be streaming their conference call, which starts at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. But you think people might be nervous about Tesla here, Joel? They might be.
Musk is going to be on the report. I heard on the call.
He tweeted he'll be there. If you believe his Twitter, then yes, he'll be there.
What did you guys remember? What number I gave you in this one this morning? I've been preaching it for a couple days.
Yeah, whatever that daily low is.
Right there.
Right?
Look at that. 975. This is worthy of a line, a vertical line, horizontal line. That too, going across here. That is it. I mean, I don't know how you trade it, because if it goes through there, it's gonna go through there quickly. Look at man, that's just crazy support. So a little nervousness. And then on the upside, look at that. Matching highs almost. 34.94 on the upside. You got the 34 even. And someone just decided, I don't want out. I don't want to be in this ahead of the report. So that's it.
Yep.
And then that Musk being on there, I don't know. Maybe there's like some, he's going to try and sugarcoat something if it's a bad report. I don't know. I don't know why I speculate on that. All I know is 975, guys.
I have a big question. Whatever happened to the semi truck and the truck, the pickup truck?
They've already pushed that back.
Yeah, but they don't even mention it anymore. It's kind of like one of those things they just, they just brought it underneath the rug. They're like, yeah, let's just slide this underneath here.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get answers, but more than likely we'll get more
questions.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I can't imagine, but maybe like Twitter comes up in conversation. I don't know. You never know with him. He's a true wild card. Joel, let's go back to Facebook here. This thing got tagged today. For a small but influential firm, Cleveland Research, came out with a pretty bearish note ahead of Facebook's report. And you know what I should do is I should just tell you when that is, because I don't actually know off the top of my head. Facebook reports earnings. Set Wednesday. Shoot, a week from today. A week from today after the close, Netflix reports earnings. I'm sorry, Facebook reports earnings. And the Cleveland Research note basically said that this company's business, like their revenue's falling off a cliff. The fundamentals are garbage. Run, don't walk, run out of this stock. And so they were pounding the table today. That's why I think that plus the general weakness in Netflix is what's scaring people on Facebook today.
It's a big move, and they did. I mean, and also the Netflix scenario, the tech pilot on it. Man, not much here. I mean, Cleveland got their way. I mean, let's see if it has a date with 186.11. That's been the low of the move. So if you're holding on, that's what you're holding on for. You don't want to see it breach 186.11. And we are we did slip under 2,000. Your next daily low, if you don't think it's going to 186, 194.52 was your March 16th low. And how low did we get today? 198.92. So a lot of times you see this effect, right? And it lasts for like a day or so. This is pretty serious technical damage getting hit on it. So see if it bounces back tomorrow.
Yeah. And then this Netflix is I'm sorry, Mitch. You have something to add on?
No, well, I wanted to say, like, also watch out for Snap, because it looks like it's snapping on down too. So,
it's every Snapchat reports in 2 days. I'm sorry, tomorrow, but it's every either mega cap tech stock or social media stock or
those
stock.
social media
There is
stocks.
fear in the water. I was going to say for Netflix, these are the days that if you're a Netflix employee or a big shareholder, these are the days that stick with you for a long time. Down 36% on the day. I know everyone is giving their opinion about buy here or sell here. I don't know. Look, buying on day one, if you got the stomach for it, I guess by all means. But there very well could be more to come. It's not just Netflix, obviously. It's the whole streaming ecosystem.
It's flattening out, though. It is, it is. It is, just kind of. It's below. It's, man, it's way below its COVID low. Man, oh man. So there's a little bit of buying going in here, but like they're not chasing it. They're not lifting offers. They're just,
right.
hit my bid. But you had the big boys getting out today. The next monthly low comes in right around the $200 mark.
Yeah.
You were
sorry. Go ahead. No, I
but
don't
95.42. But
what I was going to say was on Netflix. If you're in this thing for like the long term, then then today won't make a big difference in the long term. But if you're in this thing for like a short term trade, how often do we see a stock make a big move down and then just like bottom on that day? Almost never, right? It almost never happens where like you get like a big wave of selling on one day and then like that's it. No, that's almost never it. There's almost always more in the immediate short term after the fact, right? So in the days and weeks. But just a remarkable fall. Again, the stock was $700 5 months ago.
Yeah, 5 months ago? Wow.
I mean, it's not like they didn't have a good title throughout this time too. Remember, I mean, Squid
Game.
Squid
Academy
Games
Awards too, right?
Yeah, that doesn't matter. I think people have reached their streaming saturation point, and also with inflation, think about the average household. As they try to cut costs, what's the first thing that they cut? Well, maybe they go from 4 streaming platforms to 3 or to 2, right?
But it's not that expensive. That's the thing. I mean, what is it, $14 a month or something now?
Some people are paying $15, $16 a month. I mean, yeah, it that adds up over the course of 12 months. So
yeah, it does.
I don't know. And you know what? I noted this on Twitter today. If I asked you both of you on January 1st, hey, through April, which would you rather have, Netflix or AMC? I think we all would have probably said Netflix. We all would have been very, very wrong. Because AMC it's outperforming Netflix.
Oh, you know what? It looks it looks kind of apey down here, doesn't it? Mitch, what do you're the ape master. What do you
I'm
think?
the ape master now. Nah, I wouldn't touch it.
I don't know. I mean,
I wouldn't touch it.
2-for-1 stock split since the end of March. Look at that, 34 to 17.5. But we'll see. We'll see. This is it's a quiet consolidation. GME, got to be careful what I say in GME. I did say 145, but they kind of took it out there. I'll just have to adjust this down this low here, 140. That's your must hold level for GameStop. We're picking it up into the close here, folks. Now up 6.5 handles. So, man, oh man, you just gotta just focus on what all the other 495 stocks. Huh?
Yeah, I guess so. And what I was gonna say is like I've never been the kind of consumer that cancels, that is always canceling and adding and canceling. I keep the same stuff, but they're gonna have to find a way to reduce their churn somehow, incentivize you to stay on and not cancel every other month when you're done watching their show or whatever. So I don't know how they do that. But let's move on here. Let's look at Lululemon, Joel. They had their investor day today. The stock is down. What about 4% last I checked?
Yeah.
About that. They unveiled their plan where they are going to double their revenue in the next 4 years. They're going to the revenue for last year was $6.25 billion. They're going to go from $6.25 billion last year to $12.5 billion in revenue by 2026, is what they say. The street seems unconvinced.
To say the least here. Not a great candle on a day like that, you would think, with that kind of news. So I'll just go to the old, when a stock, I mean, I think that's good news. When a stock goes down on good news, I think you got to be careful. And that's the way I'd be approaching this one. A lot of air from that 280 low that you had just on March 16th. This thing was at 280, got over 400. I think one thing you'll see in Netflix, so you made a good point about the low of the move, not being in. Same thing here. People are gonna look at their statement. I'm like, I'm done with Netflix. They're like, wait, Lulu was breaking out over 400 yesterday, and now it's down $16. So
Yeah.
don't like that chart at all,
Yeah.
Lululemon.
Yeah. Pretty
Have to see
I'm
those.
just looking at like anything techie, anything like growth techie. And a lot of the stuff now is like they're right back to where they started right before COVID. So the question is now is like, do they hang out there or do they keep on going? Because like I look at like a PayPal, for example, which is down another 7% again today.
Wow.
It's just it's down every day, but
Oh,
it's right back where it started, basically.
Yeah.
Right, we're right here.
oh
We're right
man.
in we're right in March 2020 levels, right?
You know what jumping out in me here. Look at the monthly here. Holy
Yeah, it's
cannoli.
pretty lows in the
You
same.
got ho ho ho. Well, I guess the lows of the lows is 92 in a Q. 94 and a half was your low in Fab, and then that undercut, I guess it doesn't look as pretty. So 92 and a quarter, but man, you're hanging out down here. That was also the area. 89, 89, 88 was your low in April coming off COVID, and your COVID low 8207. So wow, that's an
Yeah.
ugly looking chart there.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
I like what Kyle James just said. It's true, right? These can be great buying opportunities. The problem is it won't be great for all of them. It will only be great for some of them because they're not all going to come back. And of course, we don't know which ones are going to be those winners and which ones are going to just never make it back. Some of them surely will. I've got my ideas, but I don't know. No one knows. And that therein lies the rub.
One of
Uh,
the things that I would say about that is maybe and I see this happen often where people are trying to call the bottom, but
yeah,
they're putting all their position in that one like that one shebang.
yeah,
And I think that when you're trying to call a bottom, what's your best friend is more a longer time frame at putting into those entries. And
yeah.
maybe like, giving yourself a couple of weeks into a position versus, let's say, oh, this is the bottom today. I'm gonna get I got the absolute bottom right here. It's going all the way up again. But if you slowly get your piece in, then I don't think it's a bad thing, because I mean overall we know how we look at the market overall. It looks like it would come back here, but the question always is it a timing thing? So I think slowly putting in that piece will help you.
All right. I just saw an interesting tweet go by about Netflix, and it's making me bullish here. It was a tweet from the Wedbush official Twitter account from Wedbush, Joel, and they said that our friend Michael Pachter, I guess, is going to be on the CBS evening news tonight to talk
Mm.
about Netflix. Right now, this makes me bullish. Okay, how often does a stock market news thing make it through to the mainstream? The Good Morning America, Today's Show, World News Tonight, CBS Evening News, NBC Nightly News. How often do they cover the stock market? Almost never. And especially an individual stock, almost never. Right? Almost never. So we got a little bit of a buying opportunity here. No, contraindicator. No one's with me.
I don't know. I mean, those. What's he gonna say? I mean, did we check to see what his price target was?
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Wait, I can look right now if you give me a couple of seconds. I can.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, he was right. I mean, he was wrong for a long time, and then he was right, and
All right. It was two. Oh no, that was from Wednesday. Wait, no, that's today. Shoot. Okay.
That happens all the time.
He gave it on March 9th. He gave it a $342 price target. So he was looking pretty good until yesterday at 405.
I mean, you think he's gonna flip? I mean, that would be the thing. I mean, if you want to take a flyer, if he comes out bullish, I have no idea knowing it, but
Yeah.
that would be it. That
so
would be, but it's
yeah,
just there's so many I mean, it's just like, oh man,
No, I know. His new price target is 280.
Oh really?
Yeah, but I'm just
He
thinking
likes
that
it.
it's a rare event where a stock makes such a big move that it actually makes its way through. It crosses over to the mainstream lexicon, as is happening here with Netflix, because everyone knows that Netflix, obviously, right? So I don't know, just a thought. Here's a calendar for tonight. I mentioned Tesla reports. That is the big one of the night. We'll have United Airlines. CSX is also important. I normally wouldn't say that, but with what's happened to the transports, I'm going to have to watch this one. Lam Research also in focus for me in light of what's going on in China. A bunch of chip companies have come out in the last 2-ish weeks and either pre-reported or tried to lower the bar for themselves because of what's happening over in China with the lockdowns there, and it's creating even more chaos for the chip industry. So watching those three tonight. Tomorrow morning we have American Airlines, we have AT&T, Philip Morris, Dow Chemical, Freeport McMoran. So we got Union Pacific. So we got some big names in the next overnight session here. Tesla, of course, is your big one.
Let me know if you guys want to look at any of those ahead of the report.
Let's take a look at Lam Research, LRCX, Joel. How's that one hanging?
I gotta imagine that it's been coming down pretty good with the rest of the chip sector. Boom, boom, man, it 450, just over 500, coming back. Let's see if you're stepping in to buy this. You did get over 500, right? What was that? That 450 looks pretty. 451. So let's call it a 54-point move. 27. 478, 479. That's where you come in. That was the low from today, right in that area. So if this is going to hold, then it's going to be, it's going to hold this 478, 479 area and rebound. Where the 50% trick worked really well.
No.
JP Morgan. Did I leave this up here? I took it from the COVID low to that all-time high. Right? And look at that, 124.93. I'm sure my math is off a little bit, but let's just do it for fun for those at home. It made a high of 172.96, right? That was the all-time high. And then the COVID low was 76.91. I'm such a geek. I'm the only person that likes to know what the exact number is. 125.44. And the low of the move was, survey says, 125.02. And it even gave you a look there the next day as it traded 125.54. Folks, we're starting to lose altitude here. We've been talking too much about why the market shouldn't be up.
We jinxed it. Oops.
And it's so savvy pre-market at the close traders saying, man, these guys are talking down the market and we're coming down here. We are now in the red by four handles.
Do you want even more evidence as to how disconnected Wall Street and Main Street can be? Pull up General Mills here. Okay. General Mills came literally like 2 cents away from an all-time high today, Joel. And amidst all these headlines, this is like the third day in a row now, I've seen articles about the FDA investigating Lucky Charms. Something is
Lucky
wrong.
Charms.
Something is wrong
Magically
with
delicious.
Lucky Charms. They're magically suspicious, is what they are. And yet,
Yeah.
General Mills is making on the doorstep of a new all-time high. Go figure, right?
Cereal's
Yeah,
getting
look at
expensive.
yeah.
exactly.
Whoa, man. Had this line here, and we must have talked about it, and then it gapped up above it and just kept on going.
Man.
Wow, important level. I mean, you did 70. Well, I got 71.33, so I haven't making a new all-time high unless. Oh no, let's go back a little bit farther.
Gotta go
You're
back.
right, 72.95. So wow, on the verge of a breakout, General Mills, and you know what? Also, I would. How's ConAgra doing? Because that was rallying into its report, and it got hit, and they bought the dip. Wow. This is
Yeah,
wow.
wow.
Look at
That's a V bottom. Holy moly!
that wasn't earnings though. The earnings it was around
What
here.
was that? Yeah, let's look. What
It
was
wasn't
that?
too long ago.
That
They
was
bought
March, it was March 9th? Something like that? What was that?
the
Was that low? March?
oh that yeah, this wasn't earnings. This was just market
March,
mayhem.
March 11th?
The
Oh,
earnings was
market?
back. I think I bet you the earnings was
You're right.
the 31st or the first.
No,
April,
their earnings were on April 7th.
April 7th. Yep.
Yeah.
And the little dip, and it was bought up. ConAgra. Nice move of that. Food stocks have got the pricing power, right?
Yeah, so
They
that's
do.
true. They do. And for the record, I will defend Lucky Charms. I still think they taste good. So maybe they'll make you sick, but hey, they taste good going down. That's all that matters. All right, we are a minute and a half away from the close here, and as it stands, same as before, most sectors in the green. Only communication services is in the red. And the XLY is in the red as well. That's cyclical, and tech is in the red, and that's basically it. Everything else is up.
I thought the pot trade would at least work.
Not today. Holy moly!
Look at that! Look at that channel, guys! Look at that! Look at that!
Yeah,
I drew that channel too.
It didn't take a half hour.
Hey, that's another stock. I think in this market, the trend is your friend, guys.
Yeah,
the trend is your friend.
You cannot fight this.
What's the cannabis ETF?
The one I like it. I like the MSOS, but that's there are others. How's the MJ doing? Oh, it's even worse.
Tilray got hit hard today.
Yeah, wow, tagged for 7%. Holy moly!
Oh,
they didn't like what Irvin was saying at the conference.
Yeah, Erwin Simon, the CEO of Tilray, is at our conference today. I don't know what he said, but
they didn't like it.
They are pounding these stocks, man. And what are they trying to do? They're ruining the event with that kind of stuff.
Dude,
Look at that.
Holy
mackerel. But all right, we're coming into the close here. A little choppy session in the red, but I think you gotta say it's not a bad day. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Some earnings reports in the red by just a couple handles. So not a bad day.
All right, to answer your question, Ak, no, but we will be live again for the Tesla call in about an hour and 15 minutes. So it'll be right here on YouTube. We'll stream the call and the Q&A after that. In the meantime, though, this show is over, and we made it. We made it to the end of the day. I cannot wait to talk about this tomorrow with Dennis. Should be fun. Smash that like button for me, please, and thank you. Please remember, all the information from our show is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. And on that note, we're done. Catch you guys in a little bit for that Tesla earnings call.